Avengers Doomsday trailers are dropping. I made a short about this recently, talking about what we've seen so far, what could potentially happen. But it was very quick, and I really wanted to go more in depth on what is going to happen with this movie, what we could potentially see, what's potentially some aftermath from this, and stuff like that. And I generally, I just wanted a bit more time to discuss. Normally, I try to only do a short on something like this, but I really felt I needed to go more in depth on this. So, welcome to Studio Productions. This is where I do movie reviews or Lego stuff or whatever I really want to do. I do enjoy movie stuff the most. So, if you enjoy movie reviews, movie news, random movie stuff like Movie of the Week, or movie mashups like which character would beat which from different universes, we can subscribe, leave a like, and comment. But let's get into Avengers Doomsday. And so we've seen 3 trailers drop so far from Avengers Doomsday. All 3 of them have had a person that was previously gone or kind of gone returning into probably a bigger role. So the first one was Captain America coming back with a child looking young, buff as normal, all that. The second one was Thor looking more powerful, more emotionally intense. He has a kid. He's looking ready to go. He doesn't look as goofy as he did in Love and Thunder, which I do really think is great. That movie. Ooh. And the final one was the X-Men returning. I do not know as much about the X-Men lore, so if you want to educate me on that, please tell me down in the comment section below. I'd absolutely love it. But, so into this, it looks like Marvel is trying to bring back they're obviously, we already knew they were bringing back big characters, but it looks like they're trying to bring them back into some more of their original roles. So I try not to get too much involved with some of the stuff that people may deem political, but it has been generally known that Marvel movies probably downplay a little bit and make some of the men a little bit goofy, especially in their most recent ones. Especially if you look at Love and Thunder, they really took Thor, who had been on this great emotional journey, transforming him into this amazing leader, and they kind of made a mess of him. And that storyline, but it was really sad to see a character like that fall from grace. And so I think in this movie, they're bringing him back, and from what it seems like, they're bringing him back stronger, more. He is a little bit emotional. He's distraught with the thought of going to fight in another war. He doesn't want to do it. He wants to stay home, but he says he has to do it. This has to be done. And so I think that's really cool. It's just going to add more depth and emotion and just a whole new level of character development to him. I think that is going to be so cool. With Captain America, he has a child. Has a life that he always wanted. What is going to happen to him? Like, this could be it. Will he die and leave his child behind? X-Men returning again, I don't know as much about that, I am sorry. But those two really give me hope for this movie, that Marvel is going to tap into something deeper and more intense than they ever have before. Like, just look at Thor. Thor went from this just hotshot kid that was and over the course of the movies, he turned into a leader and to a great fighter and a great man, and then they undid that all in one movie. And now we're coming back to that version of Thor, and what's going to make me excited about this movie. Now, what really makes me excited is maybe from some of I saw some of this in some of the trailers, but we could potentially, this villain looks really, really bad, which is cool. And so he could be even worse than Thanos. At least that's kind of what I hopefully think it should be. I think that'd be sick. Worse than Thanos, even though that would kind of take away Thanos, and that movie, those 2 movies were awesome. But so we have that going on, and so it has to be a great threat for Thor and Captain America to come back, let alone the X-Men. Like, this has to be huge. So we have hope on that front. This is going to be a huge, hopefully well-developed villain. I just feel like some of the villains haven't been as well developed. I really want him to be. He's got to have the motive. He's got to have a true drive. We can look back into the golden movie, Doomsday and Infinity War. Thanos had a vision. He had a plan. He had a drive. He knew what he wanted, and that's what made him scary. That he was desperate. He wasn't desperate. He was motivated. He knew what was going to happen, and he was ready for, and he was willing to do anything to complete his plan to bring balance to the universe. And what made it really, He thought what he was doing was right. He wanted to save people, and that's what made him such an amazing villain. And hopefully this is what they bring to this level of villain, is some cause that he is truly fighting for. Not just a bad guy for the sake of being a bad guy, but a true cause that he is fighting for, and he wants to, a mission, a goal, something that he wants to complete. Now, what can we look for in the movie, or what can we not look for? Again, I don't really know. But something that I really don't want to see is potentially the the multiverse opening up again. The multiverse was just a rat hole of problems and issues, and was just awful. I really don't want to see a multiverse again. Let's make it how Marvel movies used to be. I feel like multiverses just leave things ungrounded in reality. Like, they're not in reality. They're taken far out of scale. And I don't want to see that in this. And that's what hosed up a lot of that last, Phase 4, I think? Phase 4 or for Phase 5, I can't remember which one clearly. But that's what hosed that up, is the multiverse just confused everything, and now anyone can come back, and it doesn't matter. We need to get rid of that. This movie, these next two movies, hopefully do away with that forever. Close the multiverse, shut it down, okay? I know we've got to get Spider-Man back. I know there's all these things that need to happen, but they got to shut down the multiverse. It needs to be done. No questions asked. It's just got to go. The second thing that I really want them to happen is bring Doctor Strange also. Hopefully Doctor Strange goes to full power again, full genius, smart self. Again, he was another character that they seem to take down a little bit. And I suppose we do know who the villain is. It's Doctor Doom. What am I saying? You guys can hate on me. That I deserve hate for that. It's Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom will obviously be very smart. Why did I... Well, I'm going to beat myself up for that one. But we need Doctor Strange to be at full capacity for this. This could be insane. Like, the amount of villains and heroes that are going to be in this could be so cool, and how they set this up. Something that I don't want to see is like a copy-paste of Infinity War. They can't copy-paste. This has got to be a new storyline. This has got to be perfect. There was obviously some issues that I've talked about earlier on this channel about people not actually being next to each other on filming. They really have to do this right. And so, because after this, I'm pretty sure they're just going to restart. They're restarting the timeline. That's going to bring new heroes with a new actual goal. And this is what they have to do to get us interested again in these movies. Because over the course of those last movies, every single one, there was a definable goal which they were reaching, which then accumulated all in Infinity War. That is what we want them to start here. This is the Great Reset. This is going to be the true Great Reset. The multiverse didn't work. They didn't have a plan. They didn't have anything. They just tried to copy-paste characters. This is actually going to be a true reset where they fully just break it all down. Each hero is given what they actually need. I would hopefully doubt that they try to do what they did, where like Falcon became Captain America and Spider-Man became Iron Man. I doubt they're going to do that again. I think they're actually just going to go full in with new characters, with new identities, with new movies, with a new plan. Not just copy-paste with Captain America, but he's Falcon, and Iron Man, but he's this, and Thor, but it's Valkyrie. And so I think this is going to be the Great Reset. It's not even Doomsday. It's just the Great Reset. And I think something else, at least from what I've seen in the trailer so far, we could be cutting back on some of the humor, which I am honestly okay with. We've seen enough humor from all of our movies. It's been funny, it's been bad, it's been what it is. Let's cut it down and make it more emotional. So, heading into this movie, what exactly am I looking for? What am I hoping for? I'm hoping for less multiverse, less humor, more emotion, grounded. You can't even say grounded in reality, but more emotion and grounded characters fighting for something they love dearly, which is obviously what Captain America and Thor are doing. This is what I want. I want this Great Reset. I want the old heroes to die. Make it hurt for us to watch this movie, and then give us the joy of seeing new characters develop into the next phase of Marvel movies. If you enjoyed this video, please comment, leave a like, and subscribe. You guys can all bash me in the comments for forgetting that the villain was Doctor Doom. That is so... Bruh, I should know this. I do know this. Obviously, I just forgot for like 20 seconds. I don't know why. But if you're more interested in type of content like this, again, please subscribe. I do a lot of this just off the cuff, giving my honest thoughts after doing some research. I don't like to write it down, really. I like to give my honest thoughts, and that's what makes this channel so special. It's not scripted, it's not corrected, improved. It's just, these are my thoughts coming to you for what these movies are. So if you enjoy content like this, again, please subscribe, leave a like, comment, and thank you so much for watching.